Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Valsa. Let's talk some Doom pets. Now today's submission is a Shadow Manticore sent to us by Raphael from the Echo family. Now Shadow Manticores, as you know, they're the primary pet for Mag Zay when they're running archers, and they're one of the stronger pets in the game. Just as a reminder, there are three things to consider when rating a Doom pet. First, its stats and its slots. Second, its skills. And third, its overall impact on the game. With that in mind, let's take a look. Alright, Manticore here looks pretty impressive. Our first measurement, stats and slots. Well, it's got 8 slots, obviously that's perfect. What about its stats? Well, Shadow Manticores really care about strength, agility, and luck. Alright, the strength in this pet's very good. The agility is just okay, whereas the luck is superb, near the maximum what's even of achievable on a Warpet. Okay, so the only thing you ding this pet for here is its agility. It is S tier, but it's just barely creeping into S tier. It's still a very strong score, but when it comes to Doom pets, we are very picky. Okay, what about its skills? Well, when you're building out a Shadow Manticore, there are really 6 skills you include without even thinking twice. Start with the talent skill, obviously barbarism, a luck-based skill, very good. Then we go to advanced barbarism. This is the amber skill, and if you watch my other video, I think this is one of the strongest amber skills in the game. The reason this is so good is it gives you an 80% chance every time your hero is healed by a hero skill to do damage to the target. Well, how often does a Mag Zay March heal itself? Literally every round that it attacks, so you've got an 80% chance to trigger this every turn. But what makes this so good is that it's an additional damage source in addition to barbarism, right? Advanced barbarism does not make barbarism better. Advanced barbarism is its own thing that 80% of the time is going to give you a separate damage source on the target. All right, those are 2. What are the other 4 things I said you have to include? Well, obviously, we're going to put the crit damage packet here. That's Fatal Bite, that's Blood Roar, and that's Angry Roar. All 3 automatic includes, don't even think twice about it. Most archers, and certainly including Mag Zay, want to put Chain Strike for sure on whatever Warpet they're running. Now, the important thing to understand about Chain Strike is that when Chain Strike triggers, it counts as a Legion attack, not a pet attack. And so Chain Strike does not take advantage of those pet damage boosters I just talked to you about, like Fatal Bite, like Blood Roar, like Angry Roar. Still, it's a must include, and it's 3 stars here. Excellent on this pet. Okay, those are the 6 you have to include. You'll see the other 2 skills here, Intense Barbarism and Tooth and Claw. Those 2 skills are competing for the last 2 slots with Intense Chain Strike. And the important thing about Intense Chain Strike is that it is a separate damage source that counts as a pet damage source. The Shadow Manticore can get 3 independent pet damage sources. Its talent skill, its amber skill, and Intense Chain Strike. And when you have such great slots and you've built them out to 3 stars, you really want to get as much synergy as possible. Tooth and Claw is less powerful than the pet crit damage, but it also has a positive impact on all pet damage sources, so this will also benefit both your talent skill, the amber skill, and Intense Chain Strike if you've got it. On the other hand, Intense Barbarism only benefits the talent skill barbarism, right? This skill helps barbarism out a lot, but it doesn't have synergy with any of the other damage sources. Okay, so what's the right answer? Well, it kind of depends on what your pet's stats are. On most Shadow Manticores, you'll want to put Intense Chain Strike in over either Intense Barbarism or Tooth and Claw, basically depending on which is lower, your strength or your luck. But let's take a look at Manticore here. Manticore's got very good strength, pretty good agility, and amazing luck. And what Raphael's done here, what is the correct answer, is he's really emphasized the luck-based skills. What are the luck-based skills? Well, it's the talent skill, it's Blood Roar, and on this pet, it is Intense Barbarism. While you normally would want that 3rd damage source on the pet, because this pet's luck is so high, even relative to the other S tier stats, it was the right move on this pet to put all 3 luck-based stats on here. This is the correct build for these stats. If your Shadow Manticore has slightly different stats, the answer might change. Okay, let's talk about this pet's impact on the battlefield. Alright, Mag Zay, I would argue, is the most powerful march in the game right now, Now, to be fair, at least part of that power comes into the fact that Magzay are so versatile. You can use them and be an extremely strong Mage March, for example. And if you're running Magzay as a Mage March, you're obviously not going to use Shadow Manticore as a pet. But that aside, Magzay are a stalwart on the battlefield. They're one of the strongest marchers in the game, period. So when it comes to open field, this pet's super strong. When it comes to garrisons, even though Magrat's got the garrison talent tree and the garrison skill, she's actually a very poor choice when it comes to garrisoning things like bastions. Archers just in general are a bad choice. They're too vulnerable to too many counter rallies. They're too vulnerable to being swarmed. What about rallies? Archer rallies are somewhat viable in the current meta. You can use them, but it's kind of an it depends situation. When can you use them? When you have field supremacy, and you can guarantee the safety of your rally, essentially. If you don't have field supremacy, Archer rallies are just too vulnerable to being either sworn down or even being counter-rallied. If the enemy has a bunch of good cav marches, they can swarm a Magzay rally down just like that. But if you do have field supremacy and you're trying to crack an enemy bastion or even an enemy pass, a Magzay rally is actually pretty viable, so there is some use here. The other thing I'll mention is that in Row we finally have pets now, and Magzay is both an powerful rally and garrison in the Roots of War environment, so this pet will see some use there. Okay, so let's break it all down. We've got 8 slots, we've got excellent, though just a little bit shy of perfect stats, we have the perfect build, and we have a pet that's going to dominate the open field and have some use but not complete use in the rally garrison meta. What's the final score for Daddy Core? It's a 9.9 out of 10. Hey, that's it. Now I feature a number of Warpet themed series on this channel, and I'm always looking for more Warpets to feature. Now this could be a pet you're struggling with, and you'd like in-depth advice on how to build it out, or it could be a super strong pet, and you'd like to see it featured in the Doompet series. I try to help anyone who needs it with any Warpet related issues. So if you do send something in, please let me know whether you're interested in being featured in one of my videos, or if you're just looking for some quick advice. I'm happy to help either way. I also try to address more general, pet-related questions the community might have. If you have any of those, please let me know in the comments below. I want to thank everyone for stopping by and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this content or found it helpful, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. And until next time, stay classy, Belleron.